The definition of an offer is a proposal by one party to another that, if accepted by another party, will result in an agreement. The acceptance definition is the conclusion of an agreement when an offeree communicates clearly an unconditional acceptance of the offer. A common example of offer and acceptance is within the workplace when people are hired and fired. Offers, puffery, and invitations to treat. The definition of an offer is a proposal by one party to another that, if accepted by another party, will result in an agreement. The definition of a puffery are exaggerated statements or claims that are common in marketing and advertising practices. A common example of a puffery are that many restaurants across Sydney claim to have the best pizza. An invitation to treat is an indication that a person or party is willing to enter negotiations, but not necessarily resulting in a contract. A common example of an invitation to treat are goods on display. There are certain rules for an offer. The first rule is that an offer can be made to one or more people/parties. The second is that all major terms must be included within the offer. The third is the offer may specify conditions to be followed. The fourth, the offer must be communicated to the offeree. Fifth, the offer may be revoked or lapse in time. Sixth, offer must be distinguished from a mere puff, invitation to treat, and statements supplying info. The rules of acceptance are: they must be in response to the offer, the acceptance must be unconditional, it must be communicated unless waived or unless postal rule applies, they must follow any method set out in the offer, they can only be accepted by a person to whom the offer is directed at, may be conduct but cannot be imposed by silence, and there are special rules that are postal acceptance and electronic communication. An example of offer and acceptance is Hyde v. Wrench in 1840. The defendant, Mr. Wrench, offered to sell his farm for $1,200, but the complainant, Mr. Hyde, declined. Later, Mr. Wrench lowered his offer to $1,000, and Mr. Hyde countered with $950. Mr. Wrench denied this, and Mr. Hyde tried to go back to the original agreement of $1,000, but Mr. Wrench denied. There was no binding contract between Mr. Hyde and Mr. Wrench, so no solution could be found. But by countering with $950, Mr. Hyde cancelled the original offer of $1,000. Thus, Mr. Wrench had no obligation to accept the offer.